Sorry about that. I had a heart attack there. Internet decided to go, you know what? You know what I really want to do? And that's to go to sleep on you. While your new video of Minecraft, that unbelievable amount of Minecraft needs to be uploaded, I'm just gonna stop and not upload it because, you know what? I just like being a pain in your ass. Alright everyone, it's 7 PM at night and it's the day before D-Day. The day before I cook for the masses and I've got butterflies even now just thinking about it. I mean, I can cook, but it's the first time anyone's given me responsibility, this much responsibility to cook for that many people. I mean, 35 elderly people are putting their trust in my cooking abilities. I'll give them quality food and I won't poison them or I won't get a fishbone stuck down their throat. And it's 3 meals I have to do. Breakfast I've got to do, lunch I've got to do, evening, and okay, don't panic. You're going to do fine. It's going to be edited in a very interesting way. You're going to have the before, which is me currently now going, oh good God, pulling out my hair. Then you'll see probably one on Tuesday, the Tuesday night segment afterwards, which is going to be me being, much hard work. And then I'll probably do a following up on Wednesday when I'll be, well, let's break it down and tell you how badly I did. Well, no, it's probably going to be like, well, it wasn't that bad. Hello everybody, Sidious Obsidian here. If you stayed to this part of the video, hopefully this is the halfway mark, and I faded out from green to red, and no, before you ask, this is not the Tuesday when I was, be honest, I just showered, dried off, and I hit the sack so hard, I wish I was comatose because I had to wait work the next day and I was just, Luckily Chef was nice and she allowed me a longer break than usual. Okay, so how did I do on Tuesday? Well, got in early, 6:45, walked in, signed in, go into the kitchen. Tomatoes, open up, out the tin, bang, bosh, in the microwave, set it going. Get the bacon, put the bacon on the plate and put the bacon in the oven. I had an action plan, I was determined to see it through. And then came eggs. I love eggs, but they were my Achilles heel on Tuesday. See, I was just happily making porridge and I had some eggs in a pan, frying off. And I'm like, okay, they're doing fine. I'm just going to make porridge. And holy hell, that's an omelette. I know, I was just... And then, omelette. Eggs. Omelette. Eggs. Omelette. And luckily someone had the omelette. But, you have to keep your eye on the ball. Well, the egg. God, them eggs cooked and congealed quickly into a very fast omelette. But 7 to 8... breakfast done in an hour. And they, you know what? The breakfast went I had to do 2 lots of bacon and the porridge. I love the porridge. To be fair, it was just oats and milk. I don't see how you can get the consistency wrong, and if the consistency isn't to what you want, you just add more liquid. But oh well. Take compliments when they can come, I guess. Then there was lunch. Lunch was the bit which, as you saw earlier, I was going, and that was the bit when I was going, because, decided to do the pastry first. Luckily, I'm very good at fortunately, I'm very good at remembering images. I'd already seen, we've got this B-roll cookbook at home, and I was looking at it, and, God, it must be about 20, 30 years old, this book. Mom had it when it was celebrating the 75th anniversary, and I don't even think B-roll still is still going. So, piece of ancient history kept within these pages. But of course, they have like this sort of old-fashioned pictorial how to make pastry, and I remember that I can instantly recall it, and I was able to do the method. But then I had to write down quantities on my phone because I was like, I'm not going to remember quantities. And I spent quite a while making pastry. Mixing it in, get the water in, get the consistency right. And Chef does this strange thing when she puts flour on the table, because we've got like a big metal table in the middle of the kitchen, and then she puts cling film over the top, then puts flour on, then puts the pastry on, the flour that's on top of the cling film, and the cling film that's on top of the flour. Now, though, well, she must be doing something, right? So I did the same thing. I discovered that the way our table is, because the sort of, I don't know what it must be, something in the metal. The pastry, no matter how much flour you put on the table, will still stick. And if you put it on cling film covered in flour, it doesn't stick. It sticks a little bit, but due to the way that cling film is and the flour on top, you're able to ease it over. Well, the roly-poly, I had to roughly shape the pastry so it fit in like this cylinder-shaped tin, which is 2 bits, and you put it in the little pocket, and then you seal it and put it in, and then you put it in the oven. It's like cooking it blind. And inside was just bacon and onion. I fried the onions off and a bit of parsley. Okay, quite a bit of parsley. It turned the onions white to green. And the bacon. And I thought, what? Egg wash it, onions. Let's put full pieces of bacon. I'm not going to cut that up. Full pieces of individual bacon. And then we'll wrap it over. Oh, it looked... You know when you have a really damp towel and you want to wring out the wet water, but then it ends up big in the middle and small at the side? That's how the roly-poly ended up. And then when I put inside the bacon, I was supposed to be this big, but my thing was this big, so I sort of had to go get in, and then just try to tighten the lock, and that was done. Looked at the clock. Hell, 20 past 10. Time just flies by when you're trying to cram your pastry into its box. Didn't put it in the oven yet. I wanted everything to cook at the same time. Then came the fish pie. Oh, the fish was supposed to be defrosted, but only half it was defrosted. The salmon, that was defrosted. The filleted salmon was defrosted, but the cod tails hadn't defrosted, and the mackerel was sort of semi-defrosted. All of them filleted anyway, but I would have liked them 100%, defrosted, so then I would be able to ascertain whether they were fully deboned. And I forgot to add the prawns in, but oh well. Got the big tray, and I cut the salmon in chunks, all the cod in chunks. Although I'm pretty sure I ruined Chef's fish knife, trying to cut through frozen fish. But small chunks. When it broke down, it would just be like flakes. And then I took the fish knife and attempted to hold on to the skin and take off streaks, slices, that's it, thin wafer slices of mackerel. And oh god, it didn't work so well because it was half frozen. I got ice cubes connected to the mackerel, and it just looked like I went to town on it. It's like if someone said, he's a meat cleaver, go and sort out that mackerel. Alright. Anyway, I didn't even need to cut that into smaller chunks. It was flaked in the process of me nearly flinging the damn thing across the kitchen. I don't know how they do it. They make it look so easy on television. Just hold the skin on and then put the knife here and whoo, it's off. Me, it was like, it looked like I was stretching a pair of tights across the blue chopping board going, But got that in, and then put white sauce. White sauce, that's easy. And the pan, put the butter, melt butter down, put in the flour, mix it up, make it a paste, and then put milk in. I made too much white sauce at the time. I thought, well, then pour it on. It looks alright. And then I got the mashed potatoes. I had all my vegetables probably boiling a little bit too long. The potatoes, full pot of, big pot of potatoes. Had them on since 8. by the time it came around to me cooking them, the potatoes at the bottom had burnt and I had evaporated all the water off. I was like, ah. And, well, no, that was the second ah moment. The first ah moment I had was when I was so busy with the fish pie, I didn't notice all this foam ready to build up and fall over the pot. And I was like, no! Because lighting that oven is a pain. There's no... I mean, the button to turn on the gas doesn't work anymore. And because those flames like shooting up like wildfire. So it's often strike match, turn the gas on. No, it missed the hob. Okay, leave go, turn it back down. Damn, these matches won't work. Why won't the matches work? Burnt fingers. Okay, no, right, let's try again. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I wanted the bag one to light, and it landed slap bang in the middle of the circle, and it was still burning. And I was like, well, maybe I could... No, I'm not going to try to do that. Turn it off. Turn the gas off, blow out the match. I'll get it right eventually. Turn it on. 1, 2, fingers burning. Yay! And then I leave go of the knob too soon and the gas turns off, and I'm like, no. Why does this have to be so bloody hard? And, good, okay. Just stay there. Because the trouble with this oven, it doesn't... It's not the same time. You can hold it in and have it on high, and it'll still go off. I mean, it's an old oven. I mean, because it's a range oven. Like, it's not cast iron, but it's like the modern equivalent. So then I'm just like, it's on. And I only went through over 10 matches to do it, and I burnt the tops of my ring finger, my thumb, and my index finger, but it was all worth it, just for me to put a pot of carrots on. Anyway, so big pot of potatoes, mashing it up, adding butter, adding milk, and at this point I was like, I've got plenty of time. I think I can do something creative. Anyone that knows me, when I get cocky, I usually bite off a little bit more than I can chew. Because I got the piper and I was like, right, okay. It looks easy when Chef does it. She just puts in the potato. She uses a, what do you bloody call it? I want to see a butter knife. It's not a butter knife. Those little long plastic knives with the strange square-shaped heads. I do know the name. It's just gone from my head. You just scoop it into there. You hold it up. You sort of have you sort of hold it tight at the bottom. And then you have a bulge here, and then you just squeeze it, and the mash comes out, and you can do little ringlets. I put it in, and it wouldn't come out, and I was squeezing it, and of course some of it backlashed and came onto me, and then I was getting it outside it, and the scoop thing wouldn't work, so I used the spoon and spoon it in, but then it came in drips and drabs, and then trying to squeeze it, when I was squeezing it, half of it was coming back up onto me, and half of it was going on into the plate, and it was swirling. It looked like somebody was taking a shit across the fish pie. I made no direction. By the end of it, mashed potato on my hands, up my arms, a bit on my chest, inside the piping bag, outside the piping bag. I'm just glad nobody came in. God, if anyone... And my back was to the door, because if anyone came in, they would have seen me covered in potato and thought I had some strange mashed potato fetish. Like from Bodger and Badger. That's a CBBC program, long time ago. Look it up. And so yeah, I'm just glad. I was like, I had a Gordon Ramsay moment. I started swearing my head off to myself in an empty kitchen with only myself in it, and I was like, I don't know. Can I say the F word? I'll replace it with fudging. You fudging pieces of potato, I hate you. I'm going to take this fudging spoon to your fudging potato, and I'm going to scoop the potato out, and I'm going to plug in the fudging fish pie, and I don't fudging care what anyone fudging thinks about it. So while I was fudging it up, I was scooping in the potato and just go push, push. And I got lumps, and it started, and then I realised I had too much white sauce because the mashed potato was sinking and it was coming over the brim. And I was like, oh god, it looks horrible. It just looks like potatoes swimming in milk, and somewhere at the bottom there's probably fish. So I took it, and of course it was like balancing act. God, the white sauce was literally to the limit, and I was like, into the oven. I didn't lose any liquid. I think I lost some in cooking. Luckily, I had all the ovens turned on since the day I got in, so they were hot enough. And then I took the roly-poly and opened up the bacon oven, slid that in. I had to I remembered I would have to turn it around, because not only is this oven a nightmare to light on the stove, the individual bacon oven and the main oven has hot spots in the oven. So if I didn't turn around the bacon tray, we would have one burnt half of a roly-poly and one uncooked half on the other. So it was a waiting game. Put them in around about 11:30, 25 past. Take out the fish pie, and I looked at it every now and again. It was getting brown around the outside, and liquid was seeping out over the edge and to the bottom of the oven. Oh, good grief! I didn't clean the bottom of the oven. Oh, I better do that tomorrow. So I was doing that, and luckily, when I took the fish pie out about 15 minutes before service, it had gone golden brown on top. It actually looked like fish pie, and I was just like, yes! Put that in the hot plate, took out the broccoli and the carrots, put that up there, and then, the moment of truth, I took the roly-poly out of the oven onto the table, opened it up, and it was a perfect cylinder. Well, near enough. It was perfectly smooth on one side. The other side was a bit crumpled and funny. So, making a smart move, I decided to have the good side facing upright and the bad side at the bottom of the serving dish. Then came the serving, and I was like, it doesn't look the best. It's not anything like chef's, and it's probably going to taste pretty horrible too. And I got a very pleasant surprise. Fish pie. It just went, and I mean, there was no waste. They were coming back for more. We had people having seconds, thirds, fourth, fifth. One of the residents had flipping 6 portions of this fish pie, and I still can't believe it. How much they wanted to eat it. I just my first time cooking, and they're scoffing themselves. No waste. Everyone was just eating so much, and I honestly can't believe it, and fantastic. Of course, there are some downsides. The chef really does need an assistant, and I didn't have one, so all that washing piled up, all them dishes, it turned into sort of all the dirt between the dishes congealed together and formed this evil organism that was going to attack me if I ever tried to attempt to wrestle the dishes out of it and wash them. Oh, that was an hour's work. I mean, I did sit down for lunch to try out my produce, because the bacon onion roly-poly, God, the staff, every time I turned my back, they were like, tongs, knife. Nothing's going on here. Can we have more fish pie for Mrs. I had residents coming up to the hatch saying, well done, you, well done, and staff saying, well done, and I've never received that much thank yous, and hearing people constantly saying, I'm so proud of you, and it's unbelievable. It's fudging unbelievable, because these things don't usually happen, because I usually fudge up. And I'm still in shock. I still can't believe it. And they ate the pudding, they ate the fruit salad, and the residents and the staff have not stopped talking about that day. And I mean, it's Thursday now when I'm recording this segment, so full 3 days they've been talking about it non-stop, and it's all been positive. Had a bit of that, had a bit of fish pie. Didn't take the veg. I wasn't too bothered about the veg. That can be blended in for soup for Wednesday, I said to myself, and started eating the onion roly-poly. And pastry was nice. I mean, bacon, I love anything with bacon, and that tasted nice. I will admit that did taste nice. But the fish pie, I'm at a loss. I don't understand why it sold so much. I mean, It tasted under-seasoned and just bland and bleh. So, evening. I had to unplug the microwave at one point, and when I replugged it in, and I realised it wasn't working, because I put the scrambled egg in the microwave, left it, came back, and I thought, it's been 20 odd minutes, why is this? Oh, it's off. Shit. So, try to figure that out, couldn't get it back on the right setting. I will admit, I produced the worst scrambled egg of my life, didn't produce enough of it, it was too watery, it was bad. Even when two of my harshest critics, of any food, of the entire kitchen department came up and said, look, I know this scrambled egg, that was the worst I ever made. And they were like, well, we weren't going to say anything because you've done so hard, but yeah, it was a bit, but you've done very well. Again, with all these compliments, I'm not used to compliments. I'm used to people going, I'm used to hopping in my metaphorical car and driving straight first into a concrete wall, but instead of hitting the wall, I'm expecting a tank to come busting out of it, flattening my car before I've got the chance to open the door and roll out. But this time I was the tank driving towards a wall, and I just flattened every obstacle in my wake, and I still can't believe I did it. I followed some good advice, I kept calm, I sort of didn't set myself on fire. I didn't go up in flames and burn my fingers, and I did well. I'm just going to have to learn to accept that. Oh, God. And yeah, I'm going to have to accept that. I have to fudging well accept that. Oh, fudging.